object that I chose, as I don't know if you can see, is my cello. I've talked about this object in several assignments with you before. Well, one, I think. This cello, this object, this piece of wood or metal and paint and resin and many little things that doesn't seem like they're very relevant might have saved my life in a very important stage of my life. This object made me a strong person, someone who can handle themselves, someone who can be responsible, someone who can transmit its emotions. Despite, I consider myself someone who is very good at talking, at being communicative. Despite my record in this class, I consider myself someone who doesn't find it so hard in communicating something or just saying what I think. But I never felt like it was a quite fit. Like I could be saying you like, oh, I feel like this and I think that, but when I play my cello, I play some music or I'm just practicing my simple scales, I feel like I'm transmitting my feelings no matter how I'm feeling. I could be playing sad and my cello will reflect it, but in a beautiful way. I could be playing in love, happy, excited, whatever, and my cello will reflect it in so beautiful ways that no matter what words I could choose, I could express them that way. As you can see, I'm showing it like I was going to use a little one, like a scale cello, but I said, I mean, I have it right here. Why wouldn't I show it? This is my pride, my lover, my best friend. I mean, it's an object, but as I said, this instrument contains a lot of my feelings, a lot of my thoughts, a lot of my frustrations, a lot of my pain. And I think that's beautiful, how something that I've always dreamed of before I went to study music, I always was like, I want to study cello, I want to play a cello, I want to feel a cello. And when I finally did it, it was like, I just poured my emotions inside of it. This cello contains a lot of my thoughts more than I do. I think it's like a chamber of my feelings, despite it's been abandoned for almost a year and a half. During this quarantine, I tried to get back to it because I decided to drop it. I mean, I don't know if you remember my presentation, but I dropped it before university because I thought I was going to study medicine. I needed to be so focused on it, and that was the biggest mistake of my life. But I did this already in another assignment, so I don't want to go through that again. So I just want to say how this instrument is that significant person or people or object. I mean, it's not a people or it's not an object or a person. It is an object. I was going to repeat this video, but I think I'm going to continue because that there, me being unaware of my words is not a significant part of me being like sloppy or not having this thing practiced, this speech. No, that thing that happened is me remembering my professors, my audience, my mom, my dad. That's why it's not like I have a problem and I think my cello is a person or a crowd of people. It's just that it has a lot of memories, a very important stage of my life. Those were 3 beautiful years that I invested myself in. I could have done more. I could have practiced more. I could have continued with my private lessons more. I could have been the first chair instead of the second chair, but I still got to be the first line. I'm very proud of that. I'll never forget that. I got to be first chair but in the second row and in the third row, but I never was first chair in the first row, but whatever, I was in the first row, so that's something. Like the other girl was like someone who had experience for like 6 years of her life when I was just like in my first year when I got into the orchestra. So yeah, as I mentioned, I tried to go back to it when quarantine started, but as I was trying to tune it, I'm not a professional. I need to take it to a professional who specializes in cellos, violins, double basses, and viola, whatever. But I couldn't have taken it before because I didn't have the money. Now that I could have the opportunity, the quarantine started, and obviously I'm not going to risk myself just to save a little piece of myself. I don't know if that makes sense. but I tried to fix it myself, and now I don't know if it's visible, but now it has just 3 strings instead of 4, and I cry like a baby. But I think it's just another challenge of patience for when this quarantine is over. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, I suffered a lot because I was so motivated. I was like, this is the time for me to recover my experience, my practice, my cello, and I couldn't because it broke, and because I was so impatient to do it. And well, yeah, I think revising all of this, I could say that this cello has made me a better person, and it has impacted me and it has changed me.